Welcome, everybody, to the Rye Town Council meeting of October 16th, 2018. Madam Clerk,
Yes.
Hope, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please remain standing. Heavenly Father, bless assemblage, grant us the wisdom to make every decision fair-minded and in the best interests of all its residents. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. We have a larger attendance than usual, and you're all here for the last item on the agenda. Because we do have refreshments afterwards, that's why it's last on the agenda, so we can enjoy it after the meeting. So I promise the business part of the meeting will be very short. I intend to set an example for all mayors and supervisors as to how a meeting should proceed. Roll call, Hope, please?
Yes. Councilperson Lindsay Jackson. Councilperson Thomas Nardi.
Present.
Councilperson Jill Axelrod.
Here.
Councilperson Anthony Baxter.
Here.
And Supervisor Gary Zuckerman.
Here. Our first item is a resolution authorizing the maintenance of the Crawford Park ball field. Our ball field at Crawford Park was recently, I would say, redone with a new clay surface. It's very lovely. And this was done through a grant given to the Friends of Crawford Park, who then gave it to the town. And so this is to provide a monthly maintenance of $125 to our current, a fee of $125 a month to be given to Greenway Property Services, who already maintains our field. May I have a motion and a second?
Okay, it's per
It's
week.
weekly.
Per week?
Right.
I'm sorry, per week.
That's okay.
Of course, they're not going to do it during the winter,
Right.
so, per week.
March
That's
to
to keep it.
November.
That's to keep it in good condition, so it doesn't deteriorate the way it has in the past. May I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Councilperson Nardi.
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod.
Yes.
Councilperson Baxter.
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman.
Yes.
Yes, you want to
Yeah, the
adopt
minutes.
Did I skip the minutes? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm moving too quickly. Adoption of the minutes of 9:26. If there are no additions or corrections, may I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item is a resolution for the town of Rye to contribute to the American Legion Post 93 for Veterans Day ceremonies in the amount of $1,500. This is in our budget and has been appropriated virtually every year. If there are no questions, may I have a motion and a second?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Nardi.
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod.
Yes.
Councilperson Baxter.
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman.
Yes. The next item is a resolution authorizing an application for JCAP grant funds. This is for the Justice Court Assistance Program through the Unified Court System. And the major part of that is to request an additional grant to secure funding for professional screening, digitizing, and indexing of many years of permanent criminal records. We received such a grant last year, and the process is ongoing, and this hopefully will complete the digitization of our criminal court records. And I hope that Justice John Colangelo, who's in the audience, is smiling about it. And we hope that this will finish off that process for the court records. By the way, the justices themselves have jurisdiction over their records until they retire, at which point it becomes town records, and we have received a grant to digitize our town records as well, not only the court records, but the town records. So may I have a motion and a second for that?
So moved.
I'll second.
Please call the roll, Hope.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Baxter?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes, our next resolution is to authorize additional payment to Alliance Electrical Services. They did a major part of the, in fact, all of the exterior electrical work at, during our Crawford Park restoration. This is an additional that was not covered in the original resolution. There are actually some additions in cost and some subtractions in cost, but this is the net payment of 7,000 and something,
986.
$7,986 for additional electrical service installation. May I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Baxter?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. We have a resolution to accept a grand piano from the Millman family for the Crawford Park Community Center. This is a pre-owned grand piano valued at approximately $20,000, generously given to us, and it will be temporarily stored at, Hope, where is it going to be stored, Hope?
That's the moving company.
No,
No?
it's at the
Yes.
moving company now?
It is.
Oh.
It's at the moving company.
Oh, I thought it was going to be stored at the church.
That,
Okay.
that was the plan
That
until the
was the
moving
plan.
company
We
had a,
changed the plan.
pri-
Okay.
My sister.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a resolution to accept the piano, to replace the one that was not nearly as nice. May I have a motion and a second?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And now I'd just like to state that there's a thank you letter from the Rhinex schools. We just repaired the stone wall and wrought iron fence that separates the Gedney Cemetery from the Bellows School in Mamaroneck. And this was something that had to be done. It was causing consternation to the school community that it was falling. And we have a thank you letter from them for facilitating the repair of the stone wall. And I'd like to say, they say, your sensitivity regarding the safety issues presented by the condition of the wall and need to have the project completed prior to the opening of school were greatly appreciated. As a matter of fact, the entire project, including the painting, repair, and installation of the wrought iron fence, was finished in a timely and professional manner. And on a personal note, it was a pleasure working with the town of Rye on this project. That is signed by Dr. Barbara Ferraro, Superintendent of Schools. I think it's a really nice note. And we're lucky the contractor who did that work so excellently just happens to be sitting in our audience. Mr. Larissa, thank you so much for doing such an excellent job. Okay, we have our reports. We have a highway report. Basically, I'll just summarize the most important thing, and that's the Hillside Avenue Bridge is moving forward expeditiously. That's a $3.5 million bridge repair that is funded 95% by the State of New York Bridge New York program and is a joint project of the Village of Mamaroneck, the Town of Mamaroneck, and the Town of Rye, and it's moving forward very expeditiously. Do we have a, Nick, do you have a tax collection report other than what's submitted? Report submitted. Thank you. Hope, do you have a town clerk's report other than what's submitted?
And no other report.
No other report. Guess what? We're up to presentation and celebration of Hope Vespia's 50 years of service.
This is the quickest meeting
Hope, I'm going to go first. First of all, let me introduce, I see some celebrities in the audience, elected officials. I hope I don't miss anybody. I see Steve Otis, our assemblyman, Judge John Colangelo, one of our justices. think Paul Rosenberg is still here. Mayor Rosenberg of the Village of Rybrook, Trustee Jeff Rednick, Trustee David Heiser. We have Village Administrator Chris Bradbury, and hiding in the back is our County Legislator Nancy Barr. We have Mayor Falanka of Portchester, always hiding in the back. Nora Lucas, Councilwoman from the town of Mamaroneck. Have I missed anybody? Let me see. Oh, Ann Capisi, our clerk of the court and longtime members of the Portchester School Board, Board of Education. Nora, did I miss your Village of Mamaroneck? Pardon me, I still get confused sometimes with everybody. So let me start off. Hope, you have been with the town of Rye for 50 years. And I would have to say that you are probably the most beloved official in the town of Rye and maybe in the county of Westchester. When I think of running an election, I always say, I run with some really good people, but I always wish I could run with hope, because there's no way anybody running with hope is going to lose an election. I'm going to go first today because I want to give you this proclamation, and it's a special frame.
Oh, it is.
A super special frame, and I normally don't read these all, but I want to read this one.
Do you want me to stand up?
Town, I'm going to go over here. You have to hold on to me. Hope and I go way back. Our kids grew up together and did outdoor ed together. Where were we, up in Fishkill?
Yes.
Is that where it was? And we were in dormitory-style housing with all the kids having pillow fights, and it was a great time.
It was.
And now everybody's grown up and has babies. So, anyway, we recognize the 50th work anniversary of Hope Vespia for the town of Rye. Her dedication, loyalty, and work ethic sets a bar that no one will ever match. Town of Rye recognizes that Hope Vespia was first appointed as an assistant in the Receiver of Tax Office on October 15th, 1968. And some people in this audience were not even born then.
I used to be the youngest one.
By the way, Hope started when she was 2 years old. She was, upon the death of James Jackson, her mentor, she was appointed to fill the position of Receiver of Taxes and then elected to that post in 1988. She was elected president of the Westchester County Receiver of Taxes Association, re-elected Receiver of Taxes for the town of Rye 3 times. And in 2005, Hope was elected to her current position as town clerk of the town of Rye and has been re-elected 3 times so far, and it is my duty to convince her to run again. The town of Rye acknowledges that Hope Vespia was greatly influenced by her late father, Sam Passero, who many of you know, who instilled upon her encouragement, giving love and assistance to others without expecting anything in return, and serving the community that she was born and raised in. That's Hope. Town of Rye recognizes the organization that Hope plays an active and significant role in, among others: the Columbus Day Celebration Committee, the Salvation Army Advisory Board, co-founder of the Sound Shore Community Fund, a former member of the Westmore Twigs, and served as ladies ministry leader for the Harvest Time Church for 12 years. We acknowledge her bright outlook on life, and everybody knows that. She's always smiling. And the outlook on life that Hope brings to the town of Rye every day, her joy, passion for her job, assisting people and enjoying it, and most importantly, she's a friend to everyone. Town of Rye recognizes the family of Hope Vespia, her wonderful husband Steve, daughter Samara and Ashley, and the joy of her life, her granddaughter Marley. We declare that Tuesday, October 16th, 2018 shall be known as Hope B. Vespia Day within the town of Rye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think somebody else has proclamations. I have two more? This one is from Shelley Mayer, our state senator. And I'm not going to read this all, but you can read it. Some of the same things that I had mentioned are provided in here. And Shelley was not able to be with us today.
I
And
see her often.
yeah, well, we should. This one, I wonder who this one is from. Oh, this is from the governor himself. Andrew, yes, I spoke with them. I made sure you got one from the governor. You can put this in an even bigger frame. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Steve?
Well, it is great to be here, and clearly the town of Rye broke child labor laws when they hired Hope many years ago. But I have a proclamation from the State Assembly, which I'm not going to read. But I think what I'll say, and I'm sure it'll be reflected in the comments of others, anyone that walks into the town clerk's office and interacts with Hope, or anyone that sees Hope around town in any of her other great altruistic causes that she's involved with, knows how caring she is, knows that she's a good listener. You listen to people's problems. You like listen and like, okay, we're going to do this or we're going to do that. But you take the time to care, and you really care about every individual that walks through that door and every individual that you pass in town. And you are loved by everybody in the town of Rye, and it's deserved because you give love, and you show how much you care about each individual person and about the whole town. And it is an honor, among other things, that we get to work across the hall from you. And it is one of the nice things about the town moving to 222 Grace Church Street, selfishly, that you're there with us, and it's a wonderful thing. So congratulations on 50 years, and let's have a hoorah-rah for 50 more for the town of Rye.
Thank you. I enjoy working across the hall from you and the ladies that are there. They're just so great, sweet, and lovely. Yeah.
And here's our nice proclamation.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much.
Nancy? Nancy Barr, our state legislator. County legislator, okay. I gave you a promotion, okay. That stayed on the mind too much.
Hi, Hope. So I have a slightly different story, even though it supports all the things that have already been said about Hope, because Hope is my next-door neighbor. And when I first moved to 12 Arlington Place, and people said, where do you live? And I said, I live on Arlington Place. And they're like, oh, doesn't Hope Vespia live there? I'm like, yeah. So after a while, when somebody said, where do you live? I just said, next door to Hope Vespia. And that seemed to, no, I mean, because obviously everybody knows who you are, and everybody who knows you loves you, and with good reason, because you have such a wonderful big heart. And besides everything she does in the community, the things she does for family and friends is just above and beyond. So I'm so honored to be here to give this county proclamation to Hope. And I also will not read all the details, but the main thing we always like to point out is that when you get one from a county legislator, you get your name. Not only do you get a day named for you, which will be October 18th or 19th. I can't read with these glasses. It's the 19th.
Okay, good.
That will be Hope Vespia Day in Westchester, but she will also have her name on the Jumbotron at the county center. So please come by and take a picture.
Thank you.
And that just
Mayor Rosenberg?
Hope, it's very rare that people have good things to say about people who work in the government. And one of the things that we always hear whenever we send to myself or Chris, anybody who we send over to the town of Rye that has to come to you for whatever reason, is that you are a good listener and that you're a wonderful person. And we have a very long proclamation that I am not going to read to you this evening, but we just want to say thank you for everything that you do for the residents of Rybrook, for the residents of Portchester. I'm sure Fritz will thank you himself, because you are a real treasure, and we just want to say thank you. You really give your heart and soul to your job. Thank you.
Such an honor.
Oh,
Mayor Falanka. I happen to know, Fritz, you probably know Hope longer than anybody in this room. Except maybe Nick. And Aunt Tootsie, right.
First of all, again, I've worked for 30 years for the village, and I thought that was a long time. Opie, you beat me by 20 years. Anyway, when I first moved up to 10 Pearl Street, I had an opportunity to watch Hope very closely when she was the receiver of taxes before she ran for town clerk. And I would see a taxpayer come in really mad because their taxes went up, and Hope would put that smile on her face, and that person would walk out with a smile. It was amazing. But again, I wish I can come here. I don't have the budget. Come here with a gold watch. But I come here with a proclamation, which is all we could afford in Portchester right now. But it's in appreciation for you, Hope, as town clerk, and in recognition to your dedicated services and outstanding contributions to the village of Portchester. Thank you very much, and good luck, honey.
Thank you, everybody. Hope, you are the best. Do we have, oh, Nora. Oh, I'm sorry, Nora. I apologize.
Take a sip. I'm so thirsty.
Thank you.
I'm Nora Lucas. I'm a new trustee. I'm a new trustee in the Village of Mamaroneck, and I'm bringing this on behalf of Tom Murphy, who's our mayor. But I want to say that I'm an old taxpayer in the town of Rye, and I will say it was a pleasure to pay taxes. It's a pleasure to pay taxes if Hope smiles. Yeah, it's true, because we pay them in person, and it's a pleasure to do it. So, because you do have that great smile. So just on behalf of all of the village and Tom Murphy, thanks.
Thank you. Nora,
And
it's
we
always been
and
a pleasure.
flowers, because we thought you should
Oh,
have
they're
flowers.
beautiful.
Thank you, Nora. Good.
Oh, here.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Hope, I think that it's only fair to say that everybody in this town loves you. They love you, they appreciate you, and you do so much for so many people that sometimes you think that it might go unappreciated, but it isn't. Everybody knows you. Everybody loves you. Everybody appreciates the hard work you do, not only for the town, but also for all the organizations of which you're a part. You're not just a member of those organizations. You lead those organizations, whether it's the Salvation Army breakfast or the Columbus Day dinner, it doesn't matter. You're always there pitching in, and this whole town appreciates what you do. We all love you. Thank you. Now, may I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, Oh. Okay, Councilman Tom Nardi.
Okay, Hope, this is from the council. It's just a little something for all appreciation of all the work you do. And I've known you for many, many years, you know. And one thing I didn't hear, but she's also on the advisory board for the Salvation Army. And she's been on that for many years as well. So,
About 40.
congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye. Don't forget to record that vote.
Okay.
Yes, we have some liquid refreshment and some cookies and other things for you all to enjoy.